Hi everyone, Lawrence Hugo here from Credit Mediation Service. Hope you're well. Just walking and talking on the Budrum bushwalk. It's very beautiful here. I want to talk today about how to keep your score over 900 and maintain a high credit score, and can be a little tricky. And there's a lot of people who don't really quite understand how the credit report scoring system works, and even those of us who do think we understand, then it throws a curveball at us, and something happens, and we think, okay, just when we got to figure it out, we don't. So the algorithms with Equifax can be quite a mystery. That notwithstanding, there's some basic rules you can follow in order to maximize your credit score, so that it will heighten the chance that you'll get the loan that you're looking for. There's just a number of rules to run by. Firstly, keep the information with your bank up to date. Moving house, changing telephone numbers, changing work details, etc. You want to be contactable by the bank, because if you fall in arrears with your credit card, your mortgage, etc., and they can't reach you, or they're sending a letter or an email to the wrong address, you're going to fall in arrears. It'll be an event on your credit report, and then you got problems. And just so we know, the bank can list you as an arrears event at 14 days behind on your consumer loan. Under legislation, they have to do that. So that's an important point. They're allowed to list you as a default from 60 days in arrears. Generally, most financial institutions do not do that because, well, it's not really ethical to do that, and I still don't know why the option is still there. That notwithstanding, banks generally will list defaults. This is a credit default. Banks will generally list a credit default round about 6 to 8 months in arrears. Some banks don't even, and this is not always the case, it depends on product by product, but some banks don't even list defaults themselves. For example, a credit card, if it's then outsourced to a debt collection agency, and the agency then lists the default under license of the bank, but under the bank name. So the banks, when they look at listing defaults, they take it very seriously, and so they ought to their credit. So now that I've got that out of the way, just make sure your contact details are correct with the bank so they can reach you if there is a problem. With your credit card, you might think, okay, so I've got a credit card, it's a good limit, I don't need it anymore. We'll cut off the card, and we'll close the account and get on with my life, and I'll have no credit. The thing is, with Equifax, it's reporting your credit worthiness. And if you're not demonstrating credit worthiness, i.e. your ability to maintain a monthly repayment on a debt, then it's got nothing to report. It can't report a score. And there's potential that score will drop because you're not demonstrating that you're maintaining a monthly repayment. That might be okay for you. You might not be interested in getting a loan for a very long time. Good on you, that's great. I wish I was in that kind of situation. However, if you're interested in maintaining a high score for the purpose of borrowing funds in the future, it might be an idea to maintain your credit card, even at a zero balance, but a high limit. Now, one other factor while we're talking about limits is that if Equifax observes that the difference between the balance owing and the limit on your credit card is a very small margin, it would suggest that you may be experiencing some level of financial stress, and that may bring down your score. So if that is the case, it might be worthwhile upping your limit to increase the buffer to suggest that you're not having those financial issues. Another point is check your credit report regularly, at least every 6 months, maybe every 12 months. The reason being is you're checking for any issues on your report where there might be an arrears event that you might not be aware of. There might be an inquiry that you by someone that is making an inquiry on your credit report that you're not aware of. And this happens. It does happen. I observed a client's credit report the other day, and a debt collection agency was making one inquiry after another every single month, which was bringing his credit score down. And he didn't know about this debt collection agency. He didn't even know about the debt. And as it turned out, this debt shouldn't have been a debt, and it should have got resolved. But because of all those inquiries by this debt collection agency, every single month, it plummeted his credit score. So it's a good idea to, every 6 or 12 months, check your credit, your Equifax report, make sure all the details are on there are correct, and everything's humming along quite nicely, and there's no one taking a peek under the hood to see and to have a look at your credit worthiness that you don't know about. Really, really important. One of the biggest factors about your credit score, one of the biggest, is hard credit inquiries as opposed to soft credit inquiries. A soft credit inquiry is you looking under the hood of your credit report to check it out once every 6 to 12 months. A hard credit inquiry would be, I'm going to make an application for credit with Westpac, going to get a credit card. Westpac checks my credit report, looks fine, they approve, and we get on with it. That's a hard inquiry. Now, if you've got too many hard inquiries on your credit report, your score will go down. You don't want too many inquiries, especially inquiries with payday lenders. Really, really important. We don't know why, but any buy now, pay later or payday orientated lenders would suggest some level of financial hardship, and potentially it's rumoured that that inquiries on your credit report by these lenders, and by the way, they have a role to play in our community, in our financial community, so it's not disparaging payday lenders at all. However, too many of those inquiries offers some kind of suggestion to the observer of the credit report that that this might not be the type of worthy client that they would want. So it's critical to try and stay away from too many inquiries from payday lenders, but also too many inquiries on any lender. So the Goldilocks zone is somewhere between 2 and 4 inquiries a year, from what I am told by an insider with Equifax. So try and keep it at a minimum. Now, the final thing is that when you are checking your credit report and you see an error, the first place you've got to go is to the bank who's listed you. So an error, we're talking about an arrears event. If you're 1 month behind with your, say, mortgage repayment and you don't think you're a month behind, if you think it's an error in the report, or if you've got a default or a judgment on your credit report, and if you think it's an error and it shouldn't be on there, the first place to go is to the bank who's listed it. Talk to them. You can go through their complaints department. They'll fairly go through that complaint and provide a response. If that doesn't work, there's a number of credit repair agencies who can assist you with potentially, but it's not guaranteed, but potentially having that adverse listing removed for you. You've got to be careful with that industry. It's like my industry, debt negotiations. You've got to be careful on who you use. There's some very, very good operators out there who will do their job splendidly in getting the default removed, and it'll be like no win, no fee. So there's some great agencies out there. If you like further information on some of the good ones, you can contact me. So there it is. There's the key factors in keeping your credit report above 900. I hope you got something out of that. Thank you, guys. We'll talk soon. Bye.